Well, good after mornooning time, everyone, because I don't know what time it is for you. I'm Dave from the Driver Ranch, and this is actually the first video that I have ever made that is like exclusive as the Driver Ranch. My channel has changed names over the years. It started out the Daily Driver Show, and then it went to Trucker Dave, and now it is the Driver Ranch. And the only reason for that is because I was a truck driver, called the channel Trucker Dave, and basically I'm not with that company anymore. I am with a local company, and they don't really want filming done, so I'm respecting that, and I'm not filming at work. So I have transitioned the channel to our side business, which is the Driver Ranch, where we breed reptiles, and we've got a huge collection of snakes and leopard geckos, crested geckos. We've got a lot of bearded dragons. So things are going to be happening around here. So I figured, you know what, let's go ahead and make the video. So starting out, I'm going to show you just a few of my favorite snakes that we have, where I'm going to try to focus on that for this video and kind of see what happens. First off, starting with Utah. Utah is my boa, and she is a little dirty right now because she decided to go and explore, huh? She came out of her hide, she was exploring around, so I figured I'd go ahead and grab her out and show you. But she is a Sunglow boa. She's still a baby. She's not very old. I wish I would have gave her a bath before this video. I mean, my hands are getting black from what she was playing in. So she's got it all over her. But she is like the nicest snake I have ever seen. When she was first born, I want to say over the summer, late summer actually. So she was born, and before she was even ready to go home, I was able to pick her out of a group of hatchlings. And when I seen her, I'm like, that's it, like that's the one, you know. I wanted a female because they're a little bit harder to find sometimes. So I figured I'll start with the female, that way if I do breed, it's easier to find a male. I get asked by myself all the time, am I going to breed Utah to another boa? Well, my answer to myself is I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to or not. I haven't really got that far. Boas have been my favorite kind of snake ever since I ever held one. I'm like, that's it. I like the boas. They get to be a good size, but they're still somewhat manageable. So I thought, you know what? I need to have a boa. And I waited and waited and waited for those breeders to have their babies, and when they did, I was able to select one, and then when she was ready to go home, she was mine. And so she is a part of the Driver Ranch. She's not just a pet, but at the same point, I don't know if I'm going to breed her or not. Boas, if you don't know, boas have a lot of babies at once, and they give live birth. There's no eggs, there's no incubation period. It's not like with ball pythons where you might get 6 or 7 eggs and then you have to throw them in an incubator for a long time and wait for them to start hatching. Boas are all live birth. And that's nice if they would only have like 3 or 4 babies at a time. But when they can get up to 30, 40 of them at once, I don't have the room right now to have 30 or 40 baby boas. And plus I don't know how my wife would feel about that. Having 30 or 40 babies all of a sudden that we need a rack for, and you know, they grow fast. I don't know how long Utah is, but let's see if I can kind of get her to stretch out. Yeah, you got me all dirty. But yeah, she is one of my favorite snakes. Not just because she's a boa, but because of how nice she is. She's not head shy at all. I was able to mess with her head enough to where if you do kind of bump her in the head, it's not a big deal. So She is by far a favorite, that's for sure. You got some shed on your chin there. Huh? I'm gonna show people your face. See if you can see her face. You can kind of see her eyes. Possibly. Yeah, she's got that dust from the substrate all over her. That's my wife texting me right now, actually. But yeah, Utah, definitely a favorite. She's the only boa constrictor that we have right now. Not sure if we'll have one later on, but we might. So you have to stay tuned and see what we end up doing. Next up is Onyx. Onyx is a ball python. I know she looks like a baby, and yes, her name is Onyx. She was given the name Onyx before we knew that she was a female, because I had popped her to tell the gender, and I was set. I'm like, that's a boy. But then as she got older, found out he's a she. So Onyx is actually older than she looks. You know, she's got a good girth to her, but she's a lot smaller than what you would normally expect, because for the first long time after she hatched, she would not eat. We couldn't get her to eat no matter what we did. We tried many different things and different tips and techniques and everything else, and we could not get her to eat at all. So I ended up having to assist feed her. And that was not fun to do. Onyx was actually the first snake that I ever assist fed, and she's over a year old now. But like this is how big she is, and she eats weekly, regularly. She eats all on her own now. But for the first couple months of her actually eating was through assist feeding, and assist feeding is a weird term for it, but it's kind of like you're almost force feeding in a way. But then it teaches them to eat on their own, and that's exactly what she started doing. But she's another one of my favorites, just because if it weren't for us deciding to step in and say, okay, it's either we assist feed or she dies. That was the only way. Those were the only options we had. So I went ahead and I started assist feeding, and eventually she started eating all on her own, and it worked out good. But there were probably 7 or 8 feeding times that I had to assist feed. But not 100% sure the morph on her. I believe that we've got a pastel GHI. I'm not really seeing much else, but she is strictly a pet. We are never going to breed her, no matter how big she gets, just because of the fact that she just, she's never going to grow to the size that she should be. But yeah, she's a fun one. She's a good eater now, and no issues there at all. But another favorite right here, that's Onyx. All right, I know I said I was going to stick to the snakes, but I seen Bronzo is out. Bronzo is a leopard gecko. He's actually one of our daughter's leopard gecko, and he's a little jumpy right now. I don't know, but he was out and he was like trying to climb the glass towards me a little bit here. So easy now, easy. But either way, he's a lot of fun. He's a big boy. And we actually have bred him before to a female. Come on. You gonna come up here? No, you're gonna fall if you don't. Okay. But leopard geckos are great. They always have this leopard gecko smile. I'm trying to show you that, to where it looks like they're smiling, even when they're angry. These things are super cool. We have many leopard geckos as well, but he's trying to be a little feisty here. But yeah, he's a lot of fun. He's thick. He's strong. Got a good tail on him. He's a good eater. He loves his dubias. Loves his super worms. You know, he's a good boy. Once you get him to calm down a little bit, which not all the time is he like this, believe it or not. It's just for right now, once you first pick him up. But anyways, I figured I'd just show him right quick for you to see him. But here's his colors and everything. Show everybody your back. Yeah. Hi. So I'm gonna go ahead and put him back, and we'll move on to another snake. All right. Last but not least for this video here, this is an MBK, and his name is Bigfoot. I love this snake. You know, when I first got into snakes, I didn't really care for the all black ones, but there's something about all black colubrids that I really like. But yeah, this is Bigfoot, MBK, Mexican black king snake. He's a quick one. He is quick, and he's getting so big. When I first got him, he was definitely not this long and definitely not this thick. But he is fantastic. He's a little jumpy, you know. Usually colubrids, they're fast. You know, corn snakes and rat snakes and king snakes, they're quick. They like to be a little jumpy sometimes. But he is phenomenal. He's usually really nice. He's never bit me, so I don't have a fear that he's going to. But even if he does, which is possible, I don't think it's really going to hurt that bad because of how small he is. I've had snakes much bigger bite me, and it's not bad. It's, you know, it's pretty tolerable. Everybody thinks like, oh, the snake's gonna bite you. It really doesn't hurt that bad. So now you get into like a Burmese or a retic or something like that, then yeah, that's gonna leave a mark. That's gonna hurt. But for something like this or a ball python, it's really not going to. It doesn't hurt that bad. So, but he is phenomenal. He does. I don't know if he'll show you the bottom of his chin. He has just a little white mark on the bottom of his chin. That's the only white mark on him. Everything else is completely black. And the cool thing about the MBKs is they are cannibals. This snake right here will eat another snake. So if I choose to breed him, that's gonna be a little tricky. I'm really gonna have to pay attention to make sure that there's not an issue, because it's hard to tell. Definitely hard to tell, but he's good. Like I said, he's a little jumpy, and most colubrids are, but I love this snake. You're great, aren't you? They will rattle their tails like rattlesnakes, and sometimes when you open up his tank when he's or his enclosure over there, if he doesn't know it's feeding time, he will put his tail up against that glass and he will just, and it sounds like a rattlesnake in there almost, and that's what they want. You know, it's a territory thing. You know, he's just protecting his territory. He's doing what he is, what his instincts tell him to do. But phenomenal snake. Love this one. But I hope you enjoyed this so far. This was just a quick little introduction to some of the animals that we have. I may make them a little bit more animal specific in certain videos, but for right now I just kind of wanted to show you a little bit about what we have and kind of what to expect. We have a Uramastix as well. It's a yellow Uramastix, and we are looking to buy another Uramastix, and we're considering a breeding project, breeding Uramastix. So we're doing what we need to try to get that rolling. I see one of our ball pythons is coming out. That's Nessa over there. I'll show her in a later video. She's still in a bad shed again. Seems like every time she sheds, it's a bad one. But at any rate, yeah, we've got a couple different breeding projects that are going. We're currently actively breeding some of our ball pythons, and hopefully Uramastix here in the real near future. So stay tuned for everything, because you don't want to miss it. If you haven't looked us up on Facebook, The Driver Ranch, you can find us on there. We try to be active as much as we can on there as well. We have very busy lives, very busy. I work midnights. My wife works during the day. 3 kids, you know, they've got sports schedules. They're in school. There's a lot going on. So just for me to even take a quick half hour to make this video is it's kind of amazing to have the time to even do that. So we're gonna do the best we can with it all, but either way, welcome to the ranch. Have a good one. He's a good boy. Yeah, he's a good boy.
Free to be you, free to be you. Free to be you, free to